What up, YouTube? This your boy Open Mind, one half of the recap. Tannic couldn't be with us on this particular episode. Our schedule's just conflicting, but Tannic's still here. We love Tannic. This is episode 22. Real brief. It is the NFL playoffs, y'all. And we have the Buffs versus the Chiefs. The Buffalo Bills versus the Chiefs. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Green Bay Packers. This is our playoff game for Sunday, for today. Hope y'all get this money. We're going to start off. We're going to make a lineup, y'all, real quick for y'all and jump in the NBA. So I'm going to get right to it because I'm by myself. I can't talk to my brother, talk to myself, right? So dig this. Patrick Mahomes is at a good price, right? I don't see why we shouldn't get Patrick Mahomes. But Josh Allen also going to do well, too. This defensive game between Buffalo and Kansas City Chiefs won't be high defense. The defenses are so. Yeah, they can get some interceptions and maybe cause a fumble, scoop and score, maybe, but they're not the high-powered defense that be on either side of the ball. So both these quarterbacks gonna eat. Because it's Patrick Mahomes and he had a concussion last time they played, I say Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback for the situation, but it don't mean that Josh Allen won't have a good day. Don't know who's gonna win this game, but I'm going with Patrick Mahomes, and I'm fading the Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers game because that's going to be a defensive game, right? The Buccaneers going to give Aaron Rodgers hell on defense, right? I don't think necessarily the Packers are going to give Brady hell, but I kind of want to avoid the quarterbacks in that Green Bay Tampa Bay game and just pick those players, let the quarterbacks duke it out. I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes, y'all. I recommend Patrick Mahomes, but I also recommend Josh Allen, right? Patrick Mahomes is for the show, but Josh Allen is a recommendation also, right? Edwards-Helaire is going to play. Buffalo is not good at stopping the run, so we're going to go with Edwards-Helaire at running back. Also, either Rojo or Fournette, it really don't matter. Rojo's cheaper, though, so we're going to get Ronald Jones as our running back because Ronald Jones is a force. He's a cheap force. For him to be that cheap is just ridiculous. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Buccaneers defense because the Buccaneers is going to be the defense that's going to shine in this particular slate. Travis Kelce balled out last time. I recommend Travis Kelce. I know he costs $8,000. Yes, I realize he is expensive. But other than Robert Tonyan, there's no other tight ends that we need to even deal with. Gronk, Brait, Dawson Knox. I just strongly recommend Travis Kelce here, right? Let's see with Tyreek Hill. I don't necessarily recommend Tyreek Hill, but it's not that he won't have a good day. He is $7,000. We are getting expensive. Devontae Adams is also a good pick, but he's expensive. So we got $22,000, and I got 4 spots to fill. So my picks can only be, $5,500 at the most. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna fill all those spots, I like Lazard. Lazard should have a great day. Because Lazard has just been consistent. Let's see here. Who else we looking at? Cole Beasley. Definitely like Cole Beasley, the slot receiver. He's gonna get a lot of targets. Definitely recommend Cole Beasley. I got some money. I want somebody premier. I'm gonna go ahead and get Devontae Adams because Devontae Adams is going to shine. I don't know if they're gonna win. Devontae Adams gonna shine. Let's see here. Well, looks like we can do it. We can get both running backs off Tampa Bay. I didn't think we would be able to do it. I'm saying fade Mike Evans and Godwin because Green Bay does have a pretty okay secondary. Their front seven ain't that good. That's why I want the running backs. That's why I don't mind having both running backs off Tampa Bay because Green Bay's secondary can actually cause problems, right? So having both Fournette and Rojo as the running backs, I think I'm going to get some good production because I think through the air, both quarterbacks are going to struggle. I think on both sides of the ball, they're going to have to run the ball. And Tampa Bay is good at stopping the run, right? So this is our show squad, playoff show squad. We're going to roll with Patrick Mahomes as our quarterback because good old Patrick Mahomes is just, old reliable Jones. Plus, he's cheap, $7,600 for Patrick Mahomes, the reigning champion. You can't ask for a better price. We really can't. So we're going to go ahead and save this. Submit that. We're about to get out of here, go to the NBA games for the day, y'all. Just wanted to give y'all a show since Tanner couldn't be with us today. We'll go to the early slate and see what we working with in the early slate. I'm going to go ahead and click on that quarter game. Let's see, we got 2 games just for noon. Toronto versus Indiana, Oklahoma City versus the Clippers. I like Fred VanVleet off top, but Brogdon is also a good go-to. I just don't like their prices. They're too high, too expensive for their production. But TJ McConnell, I don't know. I think I could depend on him because, Victor Oladipo is no longer in at the Pacers. So TJ McConnell, I think, is a good point guard to start with. He's going to get some minutes and he's going to give you some production. I don't like picking Paul George, but Paul George has been consistent. He has. I give him that. I just don't like picking him because he can be inconsistent as well. Norman Powell's always reliable. I recommend Norman Powell. My picks that y'all see on my screen, just keep in mind, you do not have to pick these guys in the order I'm picking them in. You can take the lineup that you see on my screen, grab 1 or 2 here and there and make your own lineup. That has always been the suggestion when you come across my show and you play fantasy sports and you want to get an idea. Never ever assume that the lineup that we're showing you on our screen, we're telling you to submit that lineup. What we're telling you to do is to look at the lineup and see on the lineup who you might like, whether it be one player or the whole lineup, right? And these are always recommendations. If you're going to play fantasy sports, you have to make multiple lineups if you want to increase your chances to win, because no lineup is foolproof, right? So got that disclaimer out the way. I got 2 spots to fill. I'm going to jump to center spot. Sabonis is definitely reliable, Jones. But $10,000 for Sabonis, I'm sorry, you costing too much, Sabonis. When Miles Turner can give me the same production as Sabonis, I'm going to go ahead and go with Miles Turner. He's going to give me the same 40-plus DFS points production that Sabonis is going to give. I think because Sabonis is starting to shine, they feel justified to raise his price. That price is too much. Doug McDermott, definitely a reliable Jones. I'm going to go ahead and get Doug McDermott. So I'm stacked with Pacers as we speak. I got 3 Pacers. That's enough Pacers, y'all. We don't need all of these Pacers. We need somebody from Toronto, right? Anunoby is also a reliable Jones. I recommend Anunoby. I'm hesitating on Paul George and I'm hesitating on Fred VanVleet because they're gonna give you the production, but I can get 40 points out of a cheaper guy, if that makes sense to y'all. I could just get 40-some points out of somebody cheaper. I just don't want to spend that money unless I absolutely have to. And Alexander is also a reliable Jones. We're going to go with Alexander for his 8,000. Let me see. Wait a minute. Is he really reliable Jones? Yeah, he's reliable Jones. I guess you can't really get around it. You got to spend that money. So if I'm going to spend the money, I'm going to go ahead and go with VanVleet. If I got 3 Pacers, I got 3 Toronto Raptors. I'm fine with that, y'all. I'm definitely fine with that. Nicholas Batum is also a reliable Jones. Definitely a recommended player. And listen, I was trying to be cheap. I was trying to save the money. In the end, I'm able to get Malcolm Brogdon anyway because of the way that I manage my money, the way I manage my picks, y'all. Of course, my picks ain't the best picks. So it's always other players down here that y'all can pick. But if you can get Brogdon, right? So this is the early slate NBA show squad for y'all. One more scroll past, one more scroll through. Get it on your screen, get it in. Enter the lineup, grab a few people you like, and enter y'all and get this money. I'm going to go ahead and submit. Give me them crowns. Give me that. One more squad for y'all, and I'm going to let it go. I personally, and this is just me personally, me and Tannic play differently. I personally love to play the little early slates or the turbo slates, right? Turbo meaning it's only 2 games or 3 games, right? Anything beyond 3 games, like 5 or more, you kind of like, You're setting yourself up for failure because there's so many opportunities to lose. The more games, that means the more players, means the more opportunity for those players to go off, and you can't pick everybody, right? But when you isolate it down to like 2 games or 3 games, you kind of narrow your chances to win because, hey, you picked everybody. Everybody important anyway. Now, of course, you can still lose, obviously, but you increase your chances to win when you isolate the games to down to 2 games or 3 games or 4 maybe. Anything on 5, you really truly gambling, and you just relying on luck after that and not skill. At least with 2 games, I can rely on skill in my picks. Like I skillfully pick this guy or that guy, not worrying about anybody else. Whereas when you have these slates where there's a lot of people, you're relying on luck and not skill, right? Just wanted to say that, get that out the way. Last squad, the night squad. This is the evening squad taking us into the night. Westbrook is questionable, but even if he was playing, I'm still wasn't gonna pick him anyway. Westbrook is just not the same Russell Westbrook he's always been. Drew Holiday is starting to shine in Milwaukee. They definitely needed him at point guard, and he's definitely holding his own. So I don't know. I've talked him up. I'm talking about him. Might as well go ahead and get Drew Holiday. Bradley Beal is just ridiculously priced. He's never been $10,000. Bradley Beal has never been $10,000, and I would not recommend spending $10,000. And I think they justify raising his price because he's standing next to Russell Westbrook, but Bradley Beal is not worth $10,000. I don't care how much production he's given. Fade Bradley Beal until they lower his price. Good player, overpriced. Most definitely overpriced. Let's see here. What's Cam Reddish doing? What's Cam Reddish? Yep. I had a feeling about Cam Reddish. I need to look at his game log. I know it was quick. Looking at Cam Reddish's game log, if you see, he's averaging at least 25 minutes, and he's doing something with those 25 minutes in the FPTS column. If you look at that column, Cam Reddish is for his price. For $4,900, those are good numbers, good reliable numbers. You want those numbers. Chris Middleton is probably my favorite Milwaukee Bucks player. Yes, I said that. Giannis is not my favorite Bucks player. Chris Middleton is my favorite Bucks player. John Collins last year was a real force last season. I don't know what's going on with him this season. I need some more consistency out of John Collins before I recommend him. He was definitely one of my go-to guys last season. I don't know what's going on with John Collins and why his production has dropped, but it is what it is. It's a game of basketball. It happens. Keldon Johnson has definitely been a consistent force since he's been on the Spurs, so I definitely recommend him. Julius Randle is overpriced, but you know what? For 50 points, I'll spend the $9,000. But you know what? Dang, Clint Capella also challenges him. And Clint Capella actually has a good matchup in Milwaukee because they have no center. So I'm gonna go ahead and recommend Clint instead of Julius Randle. Because Clint can give you Julius Randle numbers. Got 3 spots to fill, got 15 grand left. And I'm going to go ahead and get Elfrid Payton. Nah, I don't want Elfrid Payton. I don't want RJ Barrett either. Because for that price, I want more production. I just want more production out of him for that price. Alec Burks, okay. I'm going to go ahead and get Alec Burks. I don't want him. But run out of money, and I think maybe he'll have a good day against Portland. Maybe. This is just the Alec Burks pick is me gambling. It's not a pick that I like. It's not a pick I want. It's a pick that it's the lesser of the evils based off the amount of money I got left over. I got $10,000 left to spill two slots, and these expensive guys. If I'm going to spend the money on you, I want to make sure you give me those numbers. You feel me? And see, we have nobody from Portland. No Portland players at all. So I'm recommending, or I'm not recommending, I'm looking at some Portland players to see who might give us some good numbers for their short price. I think Melo should definitely give us some good numbers. I mean, he's playing against New York. his old team. I don't think Melo should stink it up. You know what I'm saying? He could stink it up, but I don't know. I trust Melo. Melo, it's Melo, right? Kevin Huerter from Atlanta. I have nobody from Atlanta either, and I think Kevin Huerter is definitely now. He had a bad game last game, but he's still averaging 30 plus minutes. And you like the person that's averaging minutes is a person that's going score some points and do some production. You know, with Trae Young questionable, I think Huerter is definitely a good pick, because even if Trae Young plays, he might be limited. He might re-aggravate his injury. You never know. Having Kevin in the game is good, right? Plus Cam Reddish. So this is the show, y'all. Thank y'all for checking us out. Like again, I am your host, Open Mind. One half of the recap show. Episode 22 is in the books now. Happy drafting, y'all. Get money. Hope you like the squads. Again, I say, you do not have to enter the squad as you see. You can grab a few people here and there, and these are always recommendation. I'm gonna go ahead and submit. Go ahead and submit. That ends the show. That concludes the episode for today. Episode 22, the recap. Your boy Open Mind coming through with a solo mission. Shout out to my brother Tannic. We'll catch y'all again on the next go round next week for the Super Bowl. Or the week after. Super Bowl is the week after next. So we'll see who wins this game. I say the Chiefs gonna beat the Bills, and I say Tom Brady's gonna beat the Packers. But when you're playing Draftkings and you're playing fantasy sports, it doesn't matter who team wins. What matters is if your players give you production. All right? Deuces, get money. Peace out. Happy drafting.